Hi, everyone. This is Scarlett Johnson with Moms for Liberty, and I'm so excited to be interviewing a hero, a mama bear, who really doesn't live too far from me, Deerfield, Illinois, Nicole Georgas. And her story has gone completely viral. She's been on every major conservative news show and talked to all the greats, Charlie Kirk, Matt Walsh, everyone. So I'm really excited that she was able to come and talk to us, Moms on the Right, and we get to hear a little bit more in depth about her story. And I'm so grateful that you're here, Nicole. And I just want to jump right in. Like, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then let's hear what happened to your daughter.
Thank you so much for having me, Scarlett. I mean, my whole story began really, truly with Moms for Liberty. I cannot thank Moms for Liberty enough, because without your organization, I would not be here today. Truly, 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 it all began with Moms for Liberty and Marsha McCleary. This is where it began. I mean, truly, 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 I cannot thank the organization. Without you, I would not be here today, honestly. I started the fight with her. I reached out. This is way, way, way back when I had an incident with my son. This is probably over a year ago, when I was having issues with my son with the district. And we won't even get started with that, but I had issues way back with him. And I had, my father-in-law had said, you need to reach out to Moms for Liberty. They will help you. They will help you. They are the greatest organization. They will help you. He lives in Kiowa, South Carolina. He's from Lake Forest, but he lives in Kiowa right now. And they're a great organization. They're a great group of gals. You need to reach out to them.
Yes.
So I did.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. And Marsha's great. I love Marsha. She's great.
And he said, please reach out to find your local group. And I reached out to Marsha, and Marsha was great. And she gave me direction. She told me, this is what you need to do. And I got a lot of pushback with the district, tons of pushback. And now fast forward to multiple issues that I've had with the district, tons and tons and tons of issues that I've had nonstop. And I've been fighting with the district with multiple issues, and have had, lots of issues. Well, now comes the issue with the locker room.
So what happened? How did it start?
So it started with back in February. My daughter was in the girls' bathroom. She she came out of the bathroom. She saw that there is a biological male next to her exiting the bathroom. Came home, talked to her father and I, and said, this male is in the bathroom. So we said, well, you need to talk to your teacher to find out why he is in the bathroom, because we know that he is a male. Talked to the teacher. The teacher said, well, now this child identifies now as female. He now can use all of the facilities. He can now not only use the bathroom, he will now be using the locker room.
Wow.
We said, this was not going to happen. He cannot use the facilities. Now there is an executive order that is in place. So that turned into now an email, a conversation with the principal. The principal then said, well, we're not going to be following the executive order. We're going to be following state law. A couple weeks goes by, turns into now the locker room situation. The locker room situation. So it turned into the locker room situation where the girls had been told that he's going to be using the locker room all the time. The girls had then decided that they didn't want him in the locker room. They had decided that they were going to protest when they were notified that he was going to be in the locker room. They had been waiting, so this was now going to be the second week or third week of February. So this was the week of around the 20th. He was going to be in the locker room. The girls decided to protest by not changing into their PE uniforms. They all decided to not wear their PE uniforms. That day, the next day, the girls were, multiple girls, like 6 to 7 girls, were brought into the assistant principal's office, questioned. The next day, multiple girls, can we go back? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. Go ahead.
Then multiple girls then were brought into the assistant principal's office. At after that had happened, the assistant principal, multiple administrators were then brought into the locker room that day to admit to come into the locker room while the male was in the locker room. After that, the male was in the locker room for the remainder of the year. Now, he is still in the locker room.
Right now.
He's there now today. I mean, there today, but he is still in the locker room. Nothing's changed.
So this boy who identifies as a girl in the middle school is allowed to go into the daughter's bathroom, your daughter's bathroom, and all the girls in the middle school and change. Parents were not notified. You had no idea.
No, they were not notified. There was not an email. There was not a letter. I mean, and I was sending emails back and forth saying how uncomfortable my daughter felt and why this is happening. There was no email saying that this male was going to be in the locker room. No.
And then the girls were protesting and they didn't want to change. And is there some kind of gender neutral, quote unquote, space?
Yeah. Space for him.
Did they try? There's a gender neutral space for him he could go to, but he didn't want to. Did the girls try and use that space?
I can't answer for that child. I cannot say why that child chose to not use that. I can't answer.
They just didn't.
They just didn't. And that's an answer for that person.
Yeah.
But as of last week, that person was still in the girl's space and using that girl's bathroom still. And
did the girls try to change somewhere else? Did they try to not change? No. Yeah, they weren't allowed that. But the girls said they were uncomfortable. They didn't want to do this. And something more happened. But before we get to that, I want to play kind of this has happened over the year with Moms for Liberty. Many a mom, including myself, has become sort of famous on social media because they did something very simple. They went to their monthly school board meeting and they took the opportunity to talk to their school board. And for those who aren't aware, a school board is very powerful. The school board creates the policy under which the entire school district operates. And a school district could change their policy. With local control, they could change this policy. They could write into their policy that and follow President Trump's executive order and follow the directives of the OCR, the Office of Civil Rights, and Linda McMahon, the new Secretary of Education, that states clearly that there are two sexes, male and female, and that females are afforded the privacy and the dignity of their spaces when they change, when they use the bathroom, and that boys should not be playing, on girls' sports. So they could do that. So you went to petition and tell your school board how wrong you thought this was. And I am going to share the screen of this, a brief 50-second clip of your speech, which I thought was amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. Here we go. Just 1 second. All right, here we go.
My daughter was using the girls' bathroom and was stunned that a biological male student was using it as well. She came home frightened and was extremely upset. I asked her to talk with her teachers and find out more information. I received a call from Principal Wegley. He verbally reiterated that the student could use both the locker room and bathroom. That day, I filed a civil rights complaint on behalf of my daughter with the Department of Justice. A few days later, the male student was present in the girls' locker room. Feeling violated, the girls made the choice to not change into their PE clothes with a biological male student present. The next day, Assistant Principal Kathy Van Treese pulled the girls into their office, questioning them. The same day, Assistant Superintendent Joanna Ford and multiple teachers all came into the girls' locker room, making them change. This went on all week. How dare they? The girls just want their privacy. Do the right thing, Deerfield, and give these girls their locker room and bathrooms back.
Wow, they even added sound effects here to that one, which was pretty cool. But how shocking, because this is really what is shocking.
I
In
mean, it
we,
really happened.
it's and still happening. So you have school staff and a district assistant superintendent that are going into that changing area.
But from what we're told is that there's still staff in the locker room.
Wow. So that is what is really shocking and really different about this story, is that there were staff that went in and they monitored the girls, and they basically forced them into this situation.
Correct, and it's not regular staff. It wasn't like these were their normal PE teachers. This was not their normal PE teachers. Their normal PE teachers are amazing. They are amazing PE teachers that are not. These were, and that's what I wanted to make it very clear.
Yeah,
their normal teachers are amazing, and I don't think they wanted any part in this whatsoever. That they I think were 100% on the girls' side. And,
that's an important distinction, because I agree with you. I think many, if not most, teachers do not agree with this. They stay silent because they don't want to lose their jobs.
Correct. When the girls protested at the beginning and said, we do not want to wear our uniforms, the PE teacher said, awesome, great. The only thing we want you to do is make sure that you have proper athletic shoes.
Okay.
And guess what happened?
The administrators, the woke administrators.
No, wait, no.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a stand. And they are the ones that enforced their bias. They're the ones that stepped in. The PE teachers, I think, got put in a very, very bad situation.
And I know you were on Charlie Kirk, and I was on Charlie Kirk discussing a case in Westosha, Wisconsin, in which a 16-year-old biological male was allowed to change before PE in front of freshman girls. And this is a little bit different, but this is what it can escalate to, because this is a 200+ pound, 6 foot man who is stripping nude. He is fondling himself, his genitalia in front of the girls. He's leering at them. This is where it can go. Policies like this can be abused by bad actors. And so that's wrong. But in your case, it's middle school, but you shouldn't feed the delusion of one child at the expense of all the other girls who don't feel comfortable. It's not right. And morally, it's not right, I think, to tell girls to pretend, go along. You must pretend with me.
You must pretend. Yeah, you must pretend with me. And before it's too late. And what's to say that a male teacher is going to now identify as a girl tomorrow? This kid was identified as a boy all year, and then now today he's going to say I'm now a girl.
Well, it can get this bad. This is a real story. 2 years ago in Canada, a male that was 40 identified as a 15-year-old girl and was allowed to swim with the 15-year-old girls swim team and change in the girls' locker room. So it can devolve when you have absolutely no sense of truth, when there are no fence posts on an ideology, when there's no gatekeeping done. I mean, you can.
When you have teachers that when there has to be some common sense here.
Yep, we need more courage now. And I have some other images that I want to share. And they're wearing these t-shirts, the Protect Trans Kids t-shirts with knives on them, which to me is terrible, because we know that the end game of this trans ideology for these kids is the removal of their genitals. And that's why I think the knives on the Protect Trans Kids is completely inappropriate. And maybe it is appropriate because it ends in mutilation, although I think advertising it is pretty grotesque.
Kids in child school, at a middle school, K through 12, at a knife at a school board meeting, a violent.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous, but let's listen, because she mentions, she's talking about Moms for Liberty here and making these very false claims. And I always say that these woke activists are always projecting. They are accusing us of things that in fact they are guilty of. But let's hear what she has to say.
Thank you to the board for prioritizing the safety of the student that's been targeted by a organization that weaponizes religion to push the white supremacist agenda of their cis white husbands.
The snapping, of course.
Thank you.
Excuse me. It's.
I have the
Excuse me, let's be
mic.
respectful. Please be
I have
respectful
the
of
mic.
each other's times. Listen,
Targeting a middle school student because of your white God. Yeah.
They really
excuse me. Can we pause for a second? This is a time for us to listen, to hear your viewpoint, and we want to hear that. All right.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Yes. So children that are raised by those who hate, vilify, and fearmonger will hate, vilify, and fearmonger their peers. So education is super important. Sex education is super important. And this is just a kid. And I'm really grateful to see how full this room is of support for this kid.
So are any in that room, you told me this, so I want you to share. Is she a mom at the school?
No, she's not. She doesn't live in Deerfield.
Nope. Are those supporters, were they parents that had children in the school?
I would say all of them, anybody I would say out of that whole room, I would say out of anybody that spoke, there was maybe a few that actually had children that spoke. That actually, I think 2 or 1 that went to Shepherd.
But mostly they were activists that came
I would
like
say
from
90%
Chicago.
were,
Yeah.
95 were activists.
And they will call in the clown cars, and the tons of activists will come in. They don't live in the area, and that's fine.
The one that was like, middle schooler. No, you live in Berlin. You don't even live from here. You're not from here. I'm a middle schooler. I'm trans. No, you don't pay taxes here. You don't go to school here. You don't say in what goes on in my kid's school board. You have nothing. You're trans. You have a trans kid. Shocker. Shocking.
Yeah, trans has a trans kid. I know.
I wonder,
with Moms Really, lots of times, as a state leader, that I'll go to other school boards and I will try to help other parents and community members and stakeholders. So if you're you pay property taxes and this is your school district, and if you want to attend, meetings, around the state and support and encourage or maybe help, that's fine. But when you take over the whole meeting so that actual community members are intimidated to speak, and that's their goal. They want to intimidate the actual community members so that they aren't speaking. So I'm
even walk in the door. He had to stand in the doorway. We had to be the police asked us, can we escort you out, because they were so afraid. And my husband and I looked at each other and said, we're not afraid of these people. You think we're afraid of them?
Mhm.
No, they're clowns. They're insane. They're a joke, these people.
Yeah, and they have an issue, and they talk about, just a kid. Well, these are all these girls are children too. These girls are vulnerable. These girls don't feel safe. What about their rights?
No matter but this one single kid matters more than 30 girls. He matters than 30 girls. What did you forget about Me Too?
Yeah.
Did kids say Me Too? You forgot about that?
Yeah, they did. I mean, that one kid matters more than 300 girls. If there's 300 girls,
right.
they don't care because the ideology, it's a cult. The ideology matters more than actual children. If they cared about the feelings, there is a gender neutral
The
space
lovable left.
that where that boy can change. That boy is free to
Yeah.
change in a space. No one's teasing him. No one's taunting him. He's free to choose that space. There's no bullying going on. It's that it's now that you can't just be tolerated. This Charlie Kirk has said this. First, you have to, tolerate it. And then you have to recognize, and then you have to celebrate it. And then you have to participate in it. So you can't just be tolerant. You can't just celebrate. Now you have to participate in the shame ritual. And that is 100% true. This is a shame ritual of this cult. And you girls must participate. And parents, you have to stay silent, shut up, bigot. First they tell you it's not happening. First they tell us, oh, you're lying. This isn't happening. And then you find out it's happening and they say you have to tolerate it. And then you have to celebrate it. And now you have to participate in it. If you're not participating, then what's wrong with you? You need, you need to go through a DEI session or you need to be canceled.
That's what happened to my son. He had to go for a DEI session over a Minecraft video because he talked about watching a Minecraft video that had a racist tone to it, and he was pegged a racist bully when he was 8 years old.
8 years old. That's a whole other story. That 8 years old. 8 years old.
Yes,
makes an innocent comment about a character that's a pig, and they think that he says another word.
It's on his record with the district.
And 8 years old.
Full day in school suspension. And 8 years.
And grade. During that suspension, he was forced to watch videos
to learn his lesson.
To learn about his privilege.
Yes, his white privilege.
Yeah, 8 years old, struggle session. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Shame session. He had to learn. Yep. He had to learn that.
And you'll police your words. You know.
He couldn't even take. He had in school recess, in school lunch. He had to learn his lesson because of his white privilege.
Yeah, it's sick what they're doing to children, that adults are, and then adults, everything becomes.
He didn't even know what he did wrong. He came home hysterical crying and he felt so bad. He said, I don't understand what I did wrong, Mom.
Mm-hmm. No, and he didn't do anything wrong. They thought he said a word. He didn't say that word. He was just talking innocently about Minecraft. And 8 years old and built into and hysteria.
6 years.
Yeah. And that's what they will automatically assume, just like that activist said, oh, you're cis, white, God, you're just part of the patriarchy. So you've been on Fox News on several programs.
Yes.
So here you are there. And this story has gone completely viral. And here, this is the full meeting. And this is good because, maybe you're not a parent, you haven't gone to a school board meeting. This is typically what it looks like. You're in a smaller room. You've got all of the board members on the dais. And in a controversial meeting like this, you will be surrounded. And this has happened to me on numerous occasions. You are kind of surrounded by people who oppose you. Sometimes you're bringing an equivalently large group, and it can be intimidating. It can be very intimidating. So I commend you. It's brave, and more people should do it. You don't have to be a mom in the district. If you're a dad, grandparent, you pay taxes, and this is happening, and you live in Deerfield in particular, show up to these school board meetings and just. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Show up, and if all you say is, I stand with Nicole, I stand with the girls.
With the other moms.
All the moms.
That, whose daughters have been affected by it. There's tons of other moms that have been affected by it.
Yes. And now there has been and I want to bring up, so you are now represented by an amazing group, America First Legal, and Ian Pryor and America First, an amazing organization. I've worked with them, Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, Alliance Defending Freedom. These are all amazing nonprofit groups that take cases like yours on a pro bono basis.
Not getting paid a dollar. We're not making any money. They're not making any money. I am not making any money. This is literally, we want policy change. I mean, this is literally, we want the policy to change. We are not looking, we want the policy to change. So please donate to AFLlegal.org. So hopefully,
Yes, to change the policy, and so that they can take more cases like this, so that they can protect, more girls. And I have a post from Ian Pryor. He's great. So, make sure we're sharing right now. Yes, you can see that a civil case can become a criminal case very quickly. The Illinois school faces criminal DOJ referral after allegations of forcing girls to change with a trans student. So there is a criminal DOJ referral. So this is very serious. There'll be a lot more information about this. And, so follow Ian Pryor. You can see right here, there's a link to that Fox News story. And remember to donate to America First Legal, even $20, as much as you can, if you can do more, because pro bono groups like this are taking these cases pro bono. I mean, this would be very expensive for you.
Yeah.
You would never be able to do it yourself.
No.
I mean, they will have, Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty has represented me. These cases, I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the other side is using tax dollars. So they can defend themselves using tax dollars. They can go after parents using tax dollars. But we don't have that ability. We don't have a team of lawyers. We don't have unlimited funds. So it's really important. Also, be sure to follow Moms for Liberty as well. Moms for Liberty is reporting on this story. And join Moms for Liberty at momsforliberty.org. And if there's not a chapter in your area, be sure to start one. So you're very busy. You're doing a lot of interviews. How's your daughter doing right now?
She's doing good. Yesterday was a rough day. She wasn't feeling good. She was home the day before, half of the day prior, and then yesterday she was sick. She was so sick yesterday. But today she's back in school. So.
Good. And she's a trooper. And I mean, it's our hearts are all with her too. This isn't easy for a preteen girl, a young teenage girl. It cannot be easy to stand up, but we're so grateful because she's like Riley Gaines in that way. I saw you wearing the XXXY gear.
I mean, she's just such a warrior to us girls. I mean, huge fan.
Well, and XXXY, Jennifer Say, offers a 15% discount for members of Moms for Liberty. So that's on if you go to the Moms for Liberty X page. So if you like what Nicole's wearing, you can purchase it. I know I have just about every t-shirt they make.
Yes.
I love it.
The only thing I wear all the time now. I don't care. I wear it all over Deerfield. I wore it to my son's IEP meeting because I know it kind of makes them angry.
Oh, yeah.
It
triggers them. Every time I went to speak before our state legislator in Madison, I was wearing one of the t-shirts I wore. Real Women Rock. I loved it. It was awesome.
When I was on a meeting with Jennifer, and we were talking about suggesting maybe having the guys have like a lapel pin or a tie. So when they go into legislation, that would be a great idea for the guys.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. They have dad's gear. I bought some things for my dad, and I bought some things for my husband. My daughters wear it. I'll have to find I love like taking pictures and that just as much as I love, I've got Moms for Liberty now has some new things like fight like a mom. I love that stuff. It's just empowering, that we're standing up for our daughters, we're standing up for actual women, and I feel so proud to do it.
Biological women. I just have to thank the Trump administration thank the DOJ and thank thank God that we have President Trump. Thank God that we have this administration, because without this administration and without this type of leadership, I don't know where we would be right now.
No, I don't know either. Where would we be? Thank God.
Secretary
Thank God.
Thank God. I mean, thank God right now that we are at least moving in this direction. And thank God every day.
Even if you're in a red area, there's always going to be that woke school district, that woke school administrator.
Yeah.
And so, no one is 100% safe. But in states like yours, like Illinois, where you have got the trifecta of Democrat leadership, quote, where they're running the entire state,
right.
They're disregarding Trump's executive orders. They are willing to lose federal funding of schools, and there's groups that aren't like Ian Pryor's group, that aren't like America First Legal, like ACLU and other trans activist organizations that are looking for cases to test and poke holes and to stop what the Trump administration is trying to do, which is return to common sense and sanity. So it's unfortunately in areas like yours, if parents don't stand up like you, if they don't fight, it doesn't matter that Trump is president. They're going to try to defy the law. They don't care about the Constitution. They want this agenda. They are coming for our kids, and if you don't fight back, they will succeed. And so thank God that you are standing up, because now there is a case. And can't tell you how many times lawyers have said to me, there can be something egregious happening. There could be something illegal happening, something that violates the Constitution, that violates what the Department of Education, their guidance. But if parents don't come forward, if students don't come forward, if teachers don't come forward and say, this is happening, and I'm willing to be the litigant, I'm willing to be the face of this, then there isn't much we can do. You can't file a case without a complainant. So
it's me.
And that's you. And thank you for coming forward. It's at a huge expense to you and your family. You're very brave.
It is. It's affected every facet of my life, every single facet, and it's not pretty. It's not a pretty place to be in. I've lost a lot of friendships. I've lost I've lost my job. I've lost a lot of things, and I've gained everything, and that's all that matters. And I have my family, and that's all that I need.
You may lose some friends, but you gain a whole bunch more. And now I have a new friend in you. And in Moms for Liberty, you get about 130,000 new friends from all over the country. I have a good feeling that you'll be at our summit in Orlando in October, and I really hope that you get to speak. Yes,
I would love to.
Yeah, and then you're going to make a whole bunch of other friends all around the country. It's great event. It's a great organization, and also Awake Illinois. Shannon Adcock is a powerhouse, and she's a fighter.
They have been there literally through day one, giving me advice, helping me, and I mean truly, they've been there through day one. I mean truly.
Well, I'm grateful to all of the organizations that are coming together to fight. There's a
Fight,
school
fight,
board
fight.
meeting tomorrow.
Yes.
Attend your school board meetings, even if, and you know what, especially if you've got a conservative school board, you're lucky, be grateful, attend and support your school, more conservative or the independent school board members, because the left show up and they give them a whole bunch of grief. So show up and be the friendly face that's supporting them. Don't just show up to complain, show up to support, and show up to find out what's going on. Be aware, follow Nicole, follow Moms for Liberty. Here's our handle at Moms for Liberty. Follow me, and you can go to momsforliberty.org. If you don't have a chapter, start one, become a national member, and don't forget to donate to America First Legal so that they can take on more cases like Nicole's. These are really expensive cases. You do not go into public interest law to become wealthy. Oh, that is not where you go. These are true believers. These are true patriots, and we need more of them, and they need the funding to hire more lawyers and to file more cases and to litigate cases like Nicole's. If this is the way, if you've got a job and you can't speak out because you don't want to lose your job, well, you can donate $100 to America First Legal, and then you can help others who are standing up. And you can also donate to Moms for Liberty at momsforliberty.org and support our work and all that we do to educate, inform, and empower parents of their parental rights in all areas of government. So thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Nicole, for being here. We will do this again.
Thank you.
Yes.
You guys have a good day.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Okay.